Hey, Bastish B here for 64K and welcome to another episode of New Retro. So if you've never watched New Retro before, I take a look at a new game that's been released for an older system, and then we also take a look at the inspiration game that might have inspired it. So today we're going to have a look at 3 games, so let's check them out. Okay, so let's jump over to the first Bruce Lee release in 1985. Bruce Lee was developed by Datasoft and released on the Commodore 64 in 1985. This is a licensed game based on Bruce Lee, the 1970s martial arts phenom himself. The game is an action platform game that has Bruce trying to reach the Wizard's Tower. Along the road to said tower is room after room of death and puzzles waiting to be solved. Collecting lanterns open secret doors in the ground and walls. Deadly traps are all over the place, from fireballs out the walls to electric floors of death. They're all waiting to try and take you out. You also have Yamo, a dodgy green Buddha dude, and his ninja sidekick to deal with as well. They are trailing you throughout the whole quest, and disposing of them with a few well-timed kicks or hitting them into traps is a way of taking them out for a bit until they rematerialize. The 2-player mode in this game is excellent, allowing a friend to take control of Yamo, and the game becomes a co-op adventure with Yamo, in theory, keeping the ninja at bay so you can solve the puzzles. It's an excellent addition and one of my favorite co-op games on the C64. The graphics are simple but do the job well, and Bruce controls easily and is quite simple to get to grips with. The intro music is really cool and gets you in the mood for the adventure ahead, and is another one of those hard to get out of your head once you heard it once kind of tunes. Checking out Datasoft Zorro is also highly recommended, as it has a lot of the same gameplay mechanics as this. Overall though, Bruce Lee is a must-play C64 game. It's short, very memorable, and all the right places. Now let's jump over to the first fan-inspired sequel. Now let's jump over to the unofficial sequel, Bruce Lee 2, which was released on the C64 by Jonas Holton, based on the unofficial 2013 game by Bruno Marcos, which was released on Windows and Linux. Both versions are fan-made. It took Jonas a year to convert the game to the original C64, and the results are quite spectacular. Bear in mind that most of it is not based on the original source code, and almost everything had to be built from scratch. I'll leave a link to the description to his original making of vlog. It's an interesting read. Now back to the game. The story this time has Bruce's sister being kidnapped by some crazy low-pan looking wizard dude, and Bruce has to rescue her from his deadly castle. Henchmen from around the world have been brought in this time, including Kareem Abdul-Jabbar from The Game of Death and Chuck Norris from Way of the Dragon, both classic Bruce Lee movies. The game plays out very much like the original. You progress by collecting lanterns which open gates and secret passages. All the while you're getting attacked by the aforementioned foes and a crazy samurai with a bonus appearance by the original ninja as well. Avoiding sparks, laser floors and landmines is also back. The first thing you're going to notice when you start playing is that the pace is a bit faster than the original. Bruce can also swim now, and the ducking animation looks like he's actually ducking and didn't just get run over by a semi-truck. The biggest change though is the difficulty. It's damn tough, so much so that they had to release an updated version with an easy mode. Most of the difficulty revolved around pinpoint accurate jumping, which is a real pain, but the easy mode rectifies most of that and makes the whole game a lot more fun to play. Graphics and sound are almost a carbon copy of the original, so you feel right at home straight away after starting it up. And I think they did an excellent job creating a sequel to a game which unfortunately never got one. It's well worth your time. Now let's take a look at the latest Bruce Lee release. Bruce Lee Return of Fury is the second fan-made Bruce Lee C64 game to be made and was released by Megastyle in 2019. Story-wise, this one is a direct sequel to the first, where the original wizard dude has rebuilt his castle and Bruce can't help but challenge him, as in the movie Game of Death. Yamo and the ninja make their return, and now all 3 can be human-controlled with Protovision's 4-player adapter, making this the ultimate Bruce Lee multiplayer experience. Gameplay-wise, because coder DMX, who did this sequel, used the original source code, this game feels exactly like the original with all its quirks intact, and makes it feel a little bit more authentic than the previous game. Collecting lanterns, avoiding traps all make a return, and the new screens are well implemented with really great, well thought out level designs. Difficulty is probably on par with the original, meaning it's quite easy but a real fun experience. Graphics and sound are pretty much a carbon copy of the original, with the inclusion of an excellent title screen and brilliant loader music by Anders Rodal, who did the awesome loader music and Megastyle's Exploding Fish. I had so much fun with this new release and would highly recommend it to any classic fan of the original, and I think it stands alone as a really great game for newbies to the C64 as well. Okay, so where can you find these games? The original Bruce Lee was available physically. It was a commercially released game, so I can't leave any links to it. As for Bruce Lee 2, it's available for free. It's a fan-made game. I'll leave a link in the description. As for Bruce Lee Return of Fury, that is available from the Megastyle website. I'll leave a link to it as well. It's also free. And thanks for joining me, Bastish B at 64K, for another episode of New Retro. If you could like and subscribe, that would be greatly appreciated, and I'll see you next time. Cheers!